Hello everyone. Today let's continue with our lesson chapter 4, the birth of a civilization. Today we will learn about the feature of the civilization, the cities of the Indus Valley, the town planning, the buildings, the drainage system, and the street. First, let's see the features of the civilization. Excavation at various sites proved that the Harappan civilization was an urban civilization and the Indus Valley people were skilled engineers. Now let's see the cities of the Indus Valley. The cities of the Indus Valley were well-developed urban centers. The buildings were sturdy and made of burnt brick and stone. The evidence of town buildings like granaries, warehouses, and brick walls suggests a great deal of architectural planning and efficiency. Next, the town planning. The Indus Valley people built their cities with proper planning and according to a set pattern. Typically, a city could house about 40,000 people. The cities were generally divided into two sections, the upper town called the citadel and the lower town. The citadel or the upper town was a fortified and built on a raised platform or mount to protect the people from floods. The citadel contained important public buildings such as the Great Granaries, the Great Bath, the town hall and temple-like structures. The lower town consisted of houses of the common people. Now let's go to buildings. The Indus Valley people were skillful builders. There were two types of buildings. They built two types of buildings, public buildings and dwelling houses. Most of the public buildings were built on the citadel. The public buildings contained the Great Granary, the Great Bath, and the town hall. Now let's see the Great Granary. The Great Granary at Harappa was a large building. Many historians believe that it was used to store surplus grains. There were 2 rows and each row had 6 granaries. There was also a provision to fill the granary from outside. A similar granary has been found at Mohenjo-daro. All the granaries were built close to the river banks so that the surplus grains stored at the granary could be easily transported to other places. Near the granaries, circular brick platforms were found for thrashing grains. Grains like wheat and barley have been found in the crevices of the thrashing floors. Wheat and barley were found on the cracks on the thrashing floors. Now moving on to the Great Bath. Another important building found at Mohenjo-daro was a huge public tank commonly referred to as the Great Bath. It was a large complex and it had 6 entrances, a central bathing pool, dressing rooms on all sides and an adjacent well. There were steps leading to the bottom of the pool from 2 sides. Water from the adjacent well was used to fill the pool with fresh water and an outlet in a corner was used to drain the used water. The floor and the walls of the Great Bath were made of burnt bricks and were made watertight with a layer of natural tar. Many historians believe that this structure was probably used for religious purposes. The Town Hall. The town hall is another impressive building found at Mohenjo-daro. It looked like an assembly hall, which was probably used for taking important decisions. Some historians believe that the town hall could have been a prayer hall or a palace. Moving on to the dwelling houses. The lower town contained houses for the people of the city. Houses were generally single or double-storied and they usually have 2 to 20 rooms. Most of the houses had a spacious courtyard surrounded by rooms, a bathroom, a kitchen and a well. The houses were located in rectangular squares and were built with burnt bricks. The walls were plastered and the floors were paved. Each house had a drain pipe that was connected to the main drain. Next, drainage system. Indus Valley civilization is famous for her drainage system. The drainage system was so well planned that it could be compared to that of any modern city. Drains were built alongside the roads. Kitchens and bathrooms had drains which were connected to the street drains. Water from the kitchens or bathrooms emptied directly into the street drains. The drains were covered with stone slabs which could be removed in order to clean them. They had manholes at regular intervals to help in cleaning. The excellent drainage system suggests that the Indus Valley people were extremely particular about health and sanitation. Now let's move on to the streets. The main road in Mohenjo-daro was 10 meters broad. While laying their roads, the Harappan people or the people of the Indus Valley civilization followed the grid system, meaning the roads ran parallel to each other and were cut at right angles by smaller streets. They were rounded at the corners for the smooth flow of car traffic. Roads were paved with barn bricks. Houses were built on either side of the roads and streets. This shows that the roads during the Indus Valley civilizations were even better than the modern day roads here in India. So with this, we conclude the features of the civilization. We have talked about the features of the Indus Valley civilizations, the cities, the town planning, the buildings, the public buildings and the dwelling houses, the drainage system and the street. With this, let's conclude our class for today. Thank you.